Hey guys, SuperJumpReviews. Today we'll be talking about Resident Evil 5 for the PS3. I got Dan here today to help me with the review.
Hey, I'm Dan. I build computers and I like games, so hey.
I just want to say that I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil and consider it to be one of the best game franchises out there. But it hurts me to see how far this game has deviated from the original formula. With that being said, I just want to state that I did enjoy this game.
I was hoping for another, mansion. Umbrella. There's no umbrella in the whole game.
Right.
The AI wasn't terrible in 5. It could, theoretically, Sheeva could, protect herself.
See, when I played it online with someone else.
I didn't play with anybody. Did you play with a random person or someone you knew?
It was a random person, but it was, a consistent.
Random person?
Yeah. I would tell him, oh, I will be on later tonight at 5.
So you just set up a play date with a stranger?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well...
Thankfully, he was a, cool guy. I didn't meet, any, creep all over the internet, you know?
Yo, what's your name? Boy?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, see, and that's another thing that kind of killed it for me with 5. At least in 4, you could get lost or turn around. 5, you couldn't get lost. It was
I like that.
No, that's a straight line.
I mean, I like Resident Evil 5, but there is no,
There's no heart.
Yeah.
There's no...
It's just...
It's Resident Evil because they call it Resident Evil, and
Yeah.
the guy's name is Chris Redfield.
Yeah. It's missing that slow, what's the word? Methodical, pacing of past Resident Evil.
I know. There's no tension.
Yeah,
You're never scared.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, you can't advance through certain areas until, the chick comes up. If you're Chris Redfield, you can't go anywhere till, Sheeva's oh, let me give you a leg up. If you're online, you could just have some asshole who's hang on, I'm gonna go look around for, hidden treasure, Easter eggs, whatever the hell it is.
Alright.
And that's the other thing. Alright, you said that there's no, methodical tension.
Yeah.
When you're playing with another person, it undermines any sense of tension because it's supposed to be fear and isolation.
It becomes a different game.
Exactly.
Alright, what do you think of, upgrading weapons based on, money that you collected? Do you care about that?
I thought that was also stupid. Every game now, it's I get it, you want to show progression.
Yeah.
And that's tough. But, next we're going to get a level up system. I'm just saying it. It's going to be you kill zombies, you level up, you get the super kick.
How do you feel about the inventory being in real time? Before you could actually, pause it and manage your items.
I like that.
Alright.
It adds some tension.
My graphics.
They're bad.
I thought the graphics were great.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Consoles are always smoke and mirrors. This is PC gamer mode right now. But it's we're gonna do tricks so that from a distance everything looks nice.
Yeah.
But as soon as you it doesn't hold up to any scrutiny. If you put it under a little bit of a magnifying glass, it just disappears.
Right.
You know, Chris looks great, and then if you actually look at his shirt for a minute, you're what the hell? It's all blurry and washed out, and the ground, the terrain looks nice, but it's all bloom, it's all washed out, because if you use bloom, you can't look at the texture, and if you can't look at the texture, you can't see that the texture is shit. And again, it's it doesn't capture the atmosphere of it. Resident Evil is dark, stormy night in a dirty blue, black, whatever castle. This was all brown. Brown, the water was brown, the people were brown, the game was brown.
But what do you think of the audience that this game is targeted towards?
Call of Duty.
Do you think they're gonna even care?
No.
Zoom in to the texture?
Nah, this was made for Call of Duty.
Right, exactly. So, one thing that impresses me was, you're probably gonna disagree with this, but I like the lighting and shadow effects.
Yeah, and that's part of it. But the lighting and shadows have to be good, because without those, you're going to start noticing the textures. That's the smoke and mirrors. That's the sort of...
Well, it worked. I mean, it fooled me.
No, I know. I mean, and I mean, there are other games that, actually looking right here at your shelf, there's Kane and Lynch Dog Days. People hate that game. But it had, that system where when you took damage or things blew up, it pixeled out like a broken VHS.
Yeah.
Console games at this point are using whatever they can to, compensate for the fact that they're, a million years old.
Yeah.
You know?
I've gotten a lot of complaints about this from other friends. How do you feel about Chris being so, jacked and built?
Oh, well, this would be a great opportunity to talk about, it's been going around that whole, the sexist portrayal of women in video games.
Right.
I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna check my privilege real quick, and then I'm gonna talk about the portrayal of men in gaming. Women complain. It's the girls are too hot and unrealistic, whatever. And then you get like Chris Redfield, Duke Nukem,
Kratos.
Every single character in Tekken.
Right.
We're not going to develop inferiority complexes. It's like, Chris, I'm never going to look like you. Chris Redfield is supposed to, like, he has spent his whole life fighting zombies.
Right.
He is in peak zombie fighting condition. Much like he's like Batman. Again, like, we're talking about like unrealistic portrayals of people. I don't know. I think it's like,
Welcome to Africa.
yeah, he's jacked.
So you don't care, right?
Well, I'm gonna now develop an eating disorder and complain about it loudly. No, the point is that video games are like all forms of media. They're not supposed to show... They're supposed to show these sort of ideal images and like
heightened masculinity.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. It's like you got to market to your audience and like for better or for worse.
All right, score.
Out of what?
1 to 5. 1 being poop. 2 is meh.
Okay.
3 is good. 4 is great with the exclamation mark.
Okay.
And 5 is outstanding.
Do we give decimals here? Do we do like point scores? Like
Sure.
1 point? I think a 5-point scale's kind of rough. Most people will tell you, like when you're a teacher, you always do it even numbers out of 4 because then you have to pick if it was a little bit better than average or a little bit worse than average because otherwise you're going to go to the middle. As if you want me to do co-op and single player, as someone who played single player, I'd have to give it a 2 out of 4. No, 2 out of 4, and I'm going to finish.
Okay.
1 would be like abysmal, complete waste of time. It wasn't a complete waste of time, but was it above average or below average? I felt that I got a below average experience. I felt that, like, it was a strong deviation from what I had come to expect, and I would have, like, you know, at a certain point, is the game's so plot intensive, there's no way in hell you'll know what's going on if you didn't play the other, you know what I mean? You won't know who Wesker is, you won't know who Chris Redfield is.
Right,
you won't know these things. But the game wasn't made for those people. The plot was, but the game sure wasn't because it doesn't play like them.
Right. I get you.
It's like you try to please everybody and you end up pleasing nobody, or just not pleasing me. I don't know.
So what's your... Are you giving me a second score? The co-op score?
Oh, co-op score I didn't play, but maybe, I mean, again, like a good co-op experience can probably elevate something a little, so maybe a 3.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
let's just give it a C+, but let them reassess if they want later. They can resubmit it for a better grade. Would you ever play it again? Other than to just shoot the shit out of stuff.
All the way through?
Yeah.
No.
So like, if you were someone who bought it for $60, is this a $60 game?
Yes.
You think so?
I never played it before?
Yeah. Having never played it before, first playthrough, did you get your $60 worth?
I did. I played co-op.
Okay, so you played co-op and got your $60 worth. I think the easiest way to say it is, co-op, you got your money's worth, so it's worth getting. Me, I didn't get my money's worth, so I don't think it's worth getting.
Alright. Fair enough.
Is that a good element?
That's good.
Oh, and they did like DLC and all that shit, and that's just stupid.
Alright, cool.